Hello, I'm back. Welcome to the Off-Grid Dev Stream. My name's Rich. I am your host and one of the devs at s01ep14. We make a small hacking game called Off-Grid, but if you are here watching this, then you probably already know that. So if you've stumbled across us by mistake or someone that you know has retweeted this, essentially Off-Grid is a stealth hacking game where data is your most powerful weapon. I'll get into having a bit of a playthrough, I guess, and showing you what we're up to. This is our pre-release dev stream, so we basically show you a bit of behind the scenes, a bit of what we're working on currently, and the modding tools that we've been developing for Steam Workshop, among other places. Essentially, Off-Grid is a hacking game that you can mod pretty extensively. So each of these bi-monthly, twice monthly dev streams, we usually put in a bit of content on our modding API, the documentation that we have, and the modding toolset, and how you can use those modding tools. You can learn a little bit about programming and a little bit about the themes around hacking and InfoSec at the same time. Make sure to say hi in the chat if you are there watching. Be good to know what you think, whether you'd like me to cover anything in more depth. And just in general, whether the sound levels and everything else are up to spec. So let's, without further ado, turn off the starting soon logo text, and I'll switch us over to seeing a bit of Off-Grid. So what have we got here? Essentially, Off-Grid is a game that you can currently wishlist on Steam. We're launching later this year, but the interesting thing that I'm talking about today is what the modding tools look like. So over here in your tools section, when you have a copy of Off-Grid, you'll be able to get to the Off-Grid level kit, and essentially that launches a Unity project that you can then go and make some mods in. So what kind of thing can you mod in Off-Grid? Well, it's pretty varied. We hop back to games. I will show you a bit of the game in case it's the first time you've seen it. This week we're going to talk about a bit more of the kind of moddable AI. Last week, and like, if you haven't seen this stream before and you want to catch up, you can go to youtube.com/offgridthegame to catch up on other episodes. But basically, last week we went into how you write the basics around an AI or an NPC. So this week we're going to go in more depth into how you write your own actions and goals for NPCs. Just give me a second. I will I'll switch over and change the music here. Just realised I haven't plugged the controller in, so we'll do some keyboard and mousing. So in Off-Grid, you get this map screen where each of your missions will appear. This is slightly prototypey at the minute. It will be neatened up a little bit, but essentially you get all your mods that you've subscribed to come in as tiles here as well. So yeah, we, for instance, basement transport station. This is a test mod. It says the device museum. think there was something over here. Hello world, my first off-grid level. These are all mods by members of our community who've made interesting bits and bobs. So yeah, we're gonna dive in to this mission, which is our kind of main demoing mission that we tend to show people. Sometimes it hangs on us a little bit the first time we load it up, so we'll see how that goes. Just a second. Come on now. Yeah, it's done that thing. I'm gonna relaunch it. So, like I said, Off-Grid is a game that's a work in progress. This is the first access branch, which is our testing branch that we have. All our Kickstarter backers who backed at a certain level get to see early versions of the game. But we do have this issue sometimes on first launch of the game, it hanging, although now it thinks that it's already running Off-Grid, so I'll have to see what's going on there. Come on, Off-Grid. Launch. So, in the meantime, it's because there's an update. An update? Really? Potentially. Oh, I was going to window it as well. Hang on. Windowed. Make it a little bit smaller. Cool. That's better. I guess we can rise. So there's been quite a lot of stuff change in the game in the last few weeks of dev. We've done a little bit of tidying up of the character controller, although that won't be in this build just yet. We've got a load of new characters that have come in, moddable NPCs and bits and bobs. Might try and fiddle with that actually during the stream, showing a bit of modding NPCs. We have a little bit of a test run on the sort of pseudo Twitter app that we talked about during our Kickstarter. So folks who backed at a certain level will be quite excited about that hopefully as well. And lots of bits and pieces in between. Actually, that'll be an interesting one to show as well for modders who are making some bits and bobs. We've got a few different things going on. Hang on just a sec. Got a few different things going on with the AI Explorer. So as we look at kind of moddable AI and scriptable AI in off-grid, we'll talk through some of the stuff to do with goals and actions. So that's because our model of AI is using something called goal-oriented action planning. But yeah, you can essentially script your own different goals and actions for completing goals for the NPCs, and that that can be anything from kind of getting them to interact with a certain device, or text another NPC, or whatever else in order to complete a goal. We went through a lot of this stuff last week in quite a lot of detail. It took, it took about 3.5 hours, the last stream, to get to the kind of the detail of what goal-oriented action planning is. So what I'll probably be doing is talking a bit more in depth and trying not to overlap too much. You can always catch last week's episode on YouTube. Pardon me. With that, yeah, we'll look into actually scripting some of those actions, I think. Pardon me, I've got a really tickly cough. So there's this kind of light monitor app in here that we can throw on. Where is it? There we go. So the thing that we're going to be looking at is the different goals and actions that AI use. So I'll show you a bit of that in a moment. Essentially, one of the kind of goals this NPC is doing at the minute, he has a goal for patrolling, he has a goal for checking his mobile phone regularly, and he has a goal for going and getting a coffee when he runs out of motivation. So we're going to look at expanding upon that with our mod that we're working on. So the modding tool set that we have, let's scoot in there quickly. That's all in Unity, so we'll skip that version change stuff. Yeah, essentially what we end up doing is networking locally between. That's always fun when you move the window around. It sort of feels like it's parallaxing. Sorry. We're networking between the local version of the game and the Unity editor in order to connect the mod that you're working on. So, pardon me, I'm working on this mod here. It's of a level that's early on in the game. Literally, I hit search for game, which starts networking in the networking tab of our level kit tools. Hit start, and that should load it into the game window behind here. We'll see in a second. That's about it. So there it is, loading our mod, and what it does is it basically builds asset bundles in the copy of Unity we have in the background and pushes them as a patch to the game. We might have something broken below. Why is there a black screen there? That's interesting. Well, this is a dev stream, and there were some changes pushed this afternoon to the project. Pardon me. I need a cup of tea, maybe. No, it's alright, it's loaded. I was going to say there were some changes pushed that could affect this, but we're alright. So, you'll see a bit of a lag because it's trying to network locally while we're pushing a stream, and hang on. Oh, there you go, there's the AI. She spotted us doing a dance so that I can recognise that she spotted us. Yeah, this is our mod. It would run smoother if we weren't streaming. As you saw with the game, earlier it ran, you know, as the game was. The copy that we aren't networking to test. So, there's actually, there's some interesting stuff that we could or should do. We'll maybe add an app in so that we can more easily see what she's up to. I've got the wrong key and stuff. But she's got an interesting bunch of goals, and I think that's one of the things that we'll look at, kind of how you mod those goals slightly differently. We kind of went through setting up some goals last week for an NPC, and we'll look at doing a bit more of that. So I'm going to change the spawn point of him so that we see him. He's sort of starting off here at the minute. Put some music on in the background. Hopefully that's not too loud for everyone. So I'm going to basically move this spawn point, or use a different spawn point in the rest of the level, I reckon. Maybe this one over here. Oh, that's where the AI spawns. We don't want all this stuff. Oh, let's try that. Let's try the AI spawn point. Sorry. Shouldn't be yawning like this. I have a little one, and that is definitely reducing the hours of sleep I get currently. Right. So then. Basically, we open up the mission script. Head over to the workplace mission. And we just go to player spawn. Just realised I'm actually not going to be able to do as much as I wanted to show with putting in a different. Oh, actually, no, I might be able to. Look, we'll stop networking to the game, and we'll network to the other mainline project. We'll see how that goes. Yeah. So instead of reception spawn, I'm going to put in secretary spawn. move ourselves over there. And now hit stop and hit start again on networking. Here we go. Should load in any second now. Well, that might be an opportune moment for us to switch over to the mainline project so I can show you some new stuff. Let's see. Yeah, I think that is gonna have crashed. Proper hard. Okay. So what we'll do is we're actually going to launch the mainline project, which is our main dev project. As I kind of mentioned earlier, there's sort of a dev project that we build all the features in, and then there's an editor tool project that we produce a version of for all of you and anyone interested in modding. And that's where we do all the content creation ourselves as well. There's the Restream chat app reinstalling. Well, this is what happens when you update your project just before the stream. Right, there we go. Let's get Restream's chat working properly just while that's loading. Is that opened up? Yeah. That's better. Right. Now then. So, this is the mainline project. We're going to do exactly the same thing, only we're going to network the level kit to this mainline project now, and you'll see some slightly different stuff happening. But I wonder. Create clean level kit. AI Explorer. Nice. So this is something that Steve has done in the last few days. He's kind of moved our AI Explorer tool over to the level kit side, and I'm sort of cheating here by moving over to the mainline version of the game, but it gives us the ability to try out a few new things. So we're going to cheat a bit so that you can see slightly ahead of the current test build, which is going to be updated in the next couple of weeks. Next week and a half, 2 weeks. Right, so let's hit go, I guess. This should work, he says. Yeah, right, so there's the game running in the secondary editor. We hit search for game, start, and that should then load our mod. Yes, nice. Hopefully that will also mean that our player has been spawned in the new location that we changed in the script. So let's stop and start again. It's in there in the background. Start again. Want to load you full. Oh, that's interesting. That's a bug that we're going to have to look at. Oh, update Explorer experimental. There we go. Right, yeah. That's not going to be what's causing the problem though. Might just be taking ages to load, I'm not sure. Might have to go back to running it through Steam and me reel in my my plans of showing you some of those new characters. That would be a shame. But it might be the case. Try again before we give up. Any new errors? No. Oh, looks pretty normal. All right. Well then. We will probably just need to launch it out of Steam. We'll have to dig into what's gone on to stop us from doing the rest. Yes, sadly that does mean I'm not going to get to show you the brand new characters that have been set up recently. We can test whether the AI Explorer is working though. Be interesting. crash? No. Oh, there you go. Yeah. It's good. There you go. She's dancing. Actually running not too badly. Right. So basically she's walking around. Her goal is to use this computer here. It's not quite standing in the right place yet, but we'll be getting around to fixing that kind of thing. I think she then goes and uses the printer and files a bunch of files over here. So spawn point wise, that worked for us. One of the things I was going to show you a bit of that we've set up. Oh, I'm going to have the wrong key card for this though. Oh, hang on. No, this should be okay. All being well. Yeah. Did that work? Got no notifications come up. Files. Ground floor. That's not working. That device isn't working. That device is supposed to give us a key card to get into this office. No. We got a nice little bit of debugging to do then. So what I was going to try and show you is the fact that when you walk into that office, there's a trigger volume that changes this NPC over from being pretty much neutral to being an enemy or slightly more hostile. She starts to tell you she's going to call security and you shouldn't be in there and all that kind of stuff. And then I think you get 3 strikes or 3 counts of her kind of giving you warnings, and then she sends a text message to the security guard in the building to come and reprehend you, apprehend you. So yeah, I was going to talk through some of the stuff that we have in the API for doing that. Which is here, sending data as part of an action. So last week we looked at how actions are defined and set up, and they are set here with these sort of sets of goals that we were commenting up nicely. Sets of actions. Oh yeah, we had call mama, yeah, and a bunch of stuff. Audio. We didn't quite get the audio working on this, did we? Interesting. Yeah. Right, yeah. Joe kicked out, called security. Close up. Kicking Joe out. No, calling security action. Calling security action uses this extra kind of functionality within actions for sending a piece of data. You basically just define the piece of data. It can have a Lua script attached to it and be a piece of data with a payload, or it can just be defined there in the string in the table itself. Alarm data. trying to remember where that goes. This is just placeholder. Be somewhere. It's the effect, called security. Well, at the very least, let's test the AI Explorer. Oh no, is that gonna... Looks like that's not gonna do it for us either. Maybe that only works with the other editor at the minute. That's not showing anything to us, is it? Yeah, I can hear our secretary over there walking around. Okay. Well, that's going to make it quite tricky. Well, in which case, I'm going to go to Plan C, which was just to have a kind of minor look at some of the changes that Mike has been doing for us in the controls. He's been smoothing some bits and pieces out. That'll be available in the new build pretty soon. So maybe, yeah, let's jump over there. Get latest on his changes as well. Right then. Okay, let's close this down. Done. Nearly done. That might not be the best thing. Well. Well, if I can't get the mainline project to work for me to show you the different characters, and if I can't get the AI Explorer to work in a level kit project, and if downloading the changes to add in the stuff that we had going on the character controller changes is going to take forever to download, then it might be worth, dare I say it, calling an early close on this stream and continuing another night when I can get to the bottom of a couple of those things a bit more easily. Let's give it a moment and just see. Well, it's nearly, it might nearly be there in this update. Well. Really? Something weird's even happened with the input on Unity. Maybe I'm cursed tonight. Why is that gone weird? Close that down and open it up again. Don't save. Okay. I think I'm going to call hours on this stream for today, because of the three things that I wanted to look at, I've only managed to pull up one of them. The other two are still a bit more work in progress than I'd realised. So, thanks for joining. I'm gonna do a bit of work on the AI in the meantime ahead of next week, and see about showing you the updates to tooling then, I think, and that'll time in nicely because that'll work with the update of the build. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Those of you who are in on Steam Broadcast and a few other bits and pieces, I will I'll look forward to chatting to you all again soon. Make sure you, if you're interested in then wishlist and join us in our Steam community, where we post up our blog posts and do some of these broadcasts, or join the newsletter at, I think it's newsletter.offgridthegame.com, or like and subscribe us on any of the channels to my, is it my right? It's to your right. It's to my left. These ones. Yeah, and that should be about it. Cool. Look forward to doing some more off-gridding and some modding with you next time. Speak to you soon. Bye.